Good morning. My name is Fiona from Rensburg and I'm from the Portal of Alchemy, and I've just been guided to sort of be this for support for any of you that are needing of any support or clarity or direction. So I'm just waiting for a few to join us, and then I'll just start with the message that I'm guided to share today. Okay, so in my life work, the thing that I do the most is emotional healing, because I found that most of us are affected by emotions. Our emotions affect how we think, how we respond. It also affects manifestation ability. So we've been going through quite a huge shift collectively through this lockdown period, and all these peer projections and changes that needs to happen. So one of my clients have asked me, so how has the lockdown affected me? And I've been using it as an internal processing. Morning, Heather. Thanks for joining. Hello. So I've been using it as a time for internal processing. It is a time where we all go through a vibrational and dimensional shift. So whatever dimensional frequency you used to operate from, we are called to take the next leap of faith and operate at a higher frequency and in a higher dimension. Now, it is it's if I can describe the chakras. So we've got lower chakra, so which is the base chakra, then the sacral chakra, then the solar plexus. Then we get to the heart chakra, which is actually the portal where we then access the higher dimensions, accessing the and working with the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra, and that is our connection to the higher dimensions. So it is when we keep on dropping from heart and lower chakras, that is the base of the sacral and the solar plexus. When we're affected by those, we drop in vibration, we drop in dimension, and we manifest then those kinds of things. So it is to use this time as introspection. Use this time as a cleansing period. Start writing down those patterns of your life that keep on repeating and how it makes you feel, the feelings that you feel in them or from them. And I made a long list of certain patterns that I could see and get the remnant feelings that they left me with, and then owned it, realized that I brought those feelings into this incarnation. Hello, Candace, nice for you to join us. So bringing those feelings from past lives into this lifetime, having the opportunity in this lifetime to deal with it, to clear it, to heal it. So it's not others doing things unto us, it is others brings out. There are triggers to bring out those emotions to show us it was on the inside in the first place, and then get to true forgiveness and loving grace and loving kindness. And that is a tall task sometimes. So when I started this process, I've just came out of a breakup of a relationship which I totally adored and loved and thought that is my be-all and end-all, and it wasn't. So I had to deal with the disappointments, with the disillusionment, with the total heartache, with the total there was anger, there was frustration, there was betrayal, there was bitterness, there was all that. And so each day during this lockdown, I've been processing those emotions, feeling them and releasing them, feeling them and releasing them, and going through it, dissolving that. And I realized that this soul that came into my life has given me the greatest gift of finally releasing, as if he needed to come into my heart chakra and go into the core of my being and just shatter all that, just bring it all out. And as he did, I could shift into the next dimensional frequency. So it's through this heartache, through this pain, through this experience that I was able to shift, and I wasn't very much a support for anyone else, because I needed to be a support for myself. I needed to get myself through this before I could help anybody else. So today I was guided to read some extract from a book, The Greatest Human Potential, Walking in Your Own Light. And it is just to help you understand what it is going from 3D reality into the higher dimensional realities, and how it is that can support you. Hello, sweet Kerry. Lovely to see you. Okay. So I'm going to just start with reading this extract, and it says the construct of our dimension and breaking the mental barrier. Because a lot of people are challenged and are facing having to deal with what goes on in the mind. They don't have the distractions of this, that, or the other. They have to now sit in their own thoughts. And it is our emotions and our thoughts that create how we feel and what we're going to manifest. So if you want to create a different reality, you have to take control of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. So it starts off with, this topic covers a number of things. First of all, we will start talking briefly about how to better understand the dimensional structure. For you are able to leave the three-dimensional structure for good. You have to understand how it is built. Letting go of the 3D mindset will allow you to focus on the multidimensional perspectives. Those of you hearing this message today this all know by now that the 3D mind was created to limit. And I guess you can agree with me. The 3D mind has been to limit us. The 3D reality has been to limit us. There's been lots of limitations, lots of control, lots of fear, because it operates on the three lower chakras. The base chakra is all about fear, anxiety, stress, anger, not feeling safe, not feeling secure. That keeps you down in 3D. The second chakra, the sacral chakra, is all about guilt, codes of honor and ethics, which has greatly differed between different humans. And then the solar plexus is all about power and our power center, where we've given our power away, where we're taught to give our power away, where there's been power games, where we've been overpowered, bowled over, where the carpet has been ripped underneath our feet. So while they can pull on those strings of those chakras and play on those programs, you keep in a 3D reality. And it's only us that can set ourselves free. It's only us that can let that go. That's why I've been passionate in doing these chakra balancings for people on Wednesday mornings at 9 and Wednesday evenings at 7 at a reduced rate, so that I can help people shift those emotions within them. Because when you shift it, you shift, and you can have different experiences. But while you hold on to that which keeps you limited, you can't. So let me go on in this reading. So it says, to give you the illusion of separation so that you could have a unique set of vibrational experiences and make unique choices based upon the perceptions of separation. And yes, separation has been one of the greatest illusions. Although we are separated now and we have got the social distancing and we are in lockdown, a lot more people feel closer to their families using various social medias and WhatsApp video chats and Zoom and all this. There's been a reaching out. So although people could be close to one another, they have been far from one another. Now that they're far from one another, they are coming closer to one another. Isn't that very paradoxical? But yeah, of course, it is impossible for you to separate because you are always connected to everyone and everything. And it's something to realize. Sometimes, hello Estelle, thanks for joining. So it's to realize that we are connected to everything and everyone. Even if you're in lockdown by yourself, Spirit so many times have said to me and to others, not in, especially in the readings of Cryer, not even the loneliest lonely that you've ever, whenever you are you alone? Spirit is always there. Your guides are always there, and you're connected to everyone. You can pick up their feelings. You can pick up. You have a thought of a friend or whatever, and then suddenly the phone, or you hear from them, or you see a post of them on Facebook or so. That's that connection. The separation is just a total illusion. So of course, so it is in this process of a dimension into 3D reality. You needed the illusion of time, as it allows you the opportunity to make adjustments so that what you were creating by your thoughts, your emotions, and your feelings weren't immediately projected. So we would have these thoughts and feelings and wanting to create these desires, but there would be this time delay, time difference. And time has been another illusion of the 3D reality. And it is as if time was spinning up and spinning up and spinning up and fastening. And we had to be on double time, and things couldn't happen quick enough, and we didn't have enough time to do this, and we didn't have enough time to do that, and we didn't have enough time to make contact, we didn't have enough time to eat properly, and we didn't have enough time to exercise, or whatever the excuse was for not having enough time. But it sped up so quickly that there was a sort of a slowing down and then suddenly stopping. And it's like we all have been stopped in our tracks for a reason. This is a gift. This is a gift to humanity. This is it's the biggest wake-up call for us all, and to see, okay, so now from this time forward, what am I going to make time for? There is time. I now see there is time. So what can I do? How can I participate? How can I work in this world? How can I make things better? How can I do things differently? If it is working from home, is actually working a lot better, or having more. Hello, Selma. Thank you for joining. Similar. So it's to look at that. What needs changing for you? How can things be better? Certain friends that I've spoken to, they said this lockdown has been the best thing. It's like a holiday that they always wanted. They finally get the rest, and sometimes we need the reset. We need the rest. So yeah. So frequencies do not move through time at the same rate. Lower thoughts move through time at a slower rate. And then time gave you the space between what you were pulsating out and what was reflected back to you or experienced. And that was necessary because we needed to given the opportunity, morning Jackie, given the opportunity to have a time to, okay, we want this, and then we half an hour we realize, okay, I actually don't want that, actually want this, and then actually no, that's not going to work, and then we want this. So luckily there wasn't an instant manifestation of all our thoughts, because some of them was also in the lower chakras. It might have been bitter thoughts. Hi, Brendan. Morning. So it might be angry thoughts or all that, or sometimes vengeful thoughts or anything like that. And luckily they weren't manifested instantly, because we could change our mind, we could calm down, we could go back into the heart space or breathe or be distracted and have other thoughts. So time is a very important component of the 3D reality, but it is an illusion. So, and we want you to know that your perceptions of this illusion does not exist in any other dimension. Hello, Vanita. Doesn't exist in any other dimension. The other dimension, so time is viewed simply as a marker of for an event. And I guess this lockdown time, this period that we're experiencing is definitely a big stake in the ground, a big marker for all of us, because we shift like that. And this is the opportunity that is available to every human now. You can still, if you want to go on in your 3D reality, that option is available. But you can look at what things have been before, shift, and it can lead a total different life after this. Okay, so we just have a little picture here of the 3D perspective, single focused. I'll just show you the image. Let me just get it over. Yes. So it's just now. Can you see it? Yes. So this is 3D. It's a specific in a time, and this one is where it's 4D in other dimensions. Hello, Michelle. Nice joining. So from 4D to 12D perspective, so we have a multiple perspective, multiple focused. It's not just one. So one of the most important things to let go of and break from your mental cycle is this idea of time. For many years, you have noticed a big shift, a change in how you experience time. You are most certainly feeling the compression of it. You may not realize that it is time that is creating these increased sensations or intensities that you are all going through. And it is. It's like you wonder how long this is going to take. What amount of time is it going to take? Because everything sort of is linked to that time. There's certain consequences of the time. But what I found that works for me is to surrender in the process, because there's certain things that we have control over and there's certain things that we don't have control over. Those things that we don't have control over is sometimes for our best. So it is where you can detach, release and let go. So it's to ask, okay, so what is creating this disharmonious feeling within me? It's because I'm apprehensive. I don't know how long this is going to take. And what do they say about resisting? It persists. So to give an example of that is like after processing the breakup, I was wanting to get through this as quickly as I could, but also knowing that it will take the time that it will take. In the beginning of the process, it was like, so what can I do not to prevent this from ever happening again? The heartache and pain is so much, the sadness is so much. I was shaking with shock and horror and trauma and just sobbing and sobbing and sobbing and just releasing all those emotions. And each day when I processed, I sort of dissolved it and then went on to the next emotion, dissolved it, went on to the next emotion, until I got to the emotion of love. And then I realized, oh, there is still love for this human, for this other soul. What do I do with it? Because I don't know how to desensitize myself. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to not, because I am love. So one of the realizations that I went through my processing was I cannot lose love, for I am love. And it's to realize who you are at the core. There's certain things that you can't lose. You can't lose who you are in your being and what you came here to do. So it was an acceptance of that. So when I got to the day that I needed to process this love, I realized I have to do nothing about it. I can still love. I can still be in the vibration of love. And that's a beauty, being in love. Because you don't need another to be in love. It is where you click into the vibration of love, because source is love. We come from love. We are love. So it is, and from that center you can create. From that center you can create the connections, you can create the manifestations that you need to. You can't when you are not connected in that vibration. So it is the most purest form of you, your light and the love source that you are part of. So it was in that I totally surrendered in that, which I then realized the gift that I got from this experience. And it is that in every adversity, there's always a equal or greater benefit. There's such a great benefit for you currently in this experience. It's to see it. And when you can't see it, you surrender to it. When you ask, what is it? It will come to you. It will most surely do. And if you don't, you can contact me and I can help you, take you through the process and so forth. But it is to see what gift is there for you when you truly shift all that you can shift in this now moment, through this experience of what we are going through. So as we said, the frequency do not move through time at the same rate. The higher you go in frequency, the more time appears to compress. 10 years ago, you played out your dramas in an extended period of time. There was long periods of the same feeling or same experience where people just suffered in silence or just endured. Now you don't necessarily have to. But now it is done in a relatively shorter period. And I guess that was one of my greatest disappointments through this experience. It was just 4 months, but it felt like we had a number of lifetimes in that 4 months. The intensity of those experiences and the things that we needed to shift and release, and the negative karma that we needed to let go of was quite intense. But that doesn't diminish the time period. So although it was just perceived as a short period, it was actually a lot that happened in that, which ultimately is good, because then you can get on to a new experience or new timeline. Yes, I'm grateful for all that. To give an example, what you would have taken a year to work out now takes you about 4 days. And that is the advantage of the timelines that we live in. It doesn't have to take us so long anymore. When I take people through healings and stuff, some of the stuff that I had to go through took me years to process, to understand, to culminate with. I had to figure it out for myself. I had to hold the light for myself. I had to process it for myself. But now, in one session or so, I can help people shift lots of stuff. And that's the beauty of this time. So given the opportunity to not have to focus on other things, but focus on self. Because the most important thing that you can do in this timeline is focus on yourself. Focus on your journey, focus on your emotions, and focus on which vibrational frequency are you operating on, and which one would you like to operate on, because there might be a discrepancy. And to shift that, which keeps you down, to rise, to your opportunity to rise. This is the time to rise. So this is why everything feels so much more intense, especially for the sensitive ones. We've been feeling all these things very intensely. And that's the beauty of the intensity, because it's appropriate. This happens because we are getting higher in frequency. As you move beyond 3D into 5D, you will feel that the time is collapsing upon itself. I did a session for somebody last week, and as I started, I took her through the whole process and so forth. And when the 2 hours was up, I looked at the time. I thought, oh, where did the time go? Because it felt like I just took her into the now, and we were in the now for 2 hours. And then, hello, Tammy. Thank you for joining from Durban. So we stepped into the now, and we're just in the now for two human hours. But it felt like it went like that. So yes, can definitely relate to that. And when you break your mental barrier, and that's the opportunity for all of us now, you can shift your focus to the multidimensional perspective. And multidimensional perspective means you can see things from so many different avenues, perspectives. It's exactly what it says, but it's like when you look at a problem now, and you look at it from a 3D perspective, then you just see the problem. You see, I can't do this because I can't go to work. I physically have lockdown. When you look at a perceived problem from a multidimensional perspective, you can see, okay, there's actually no problem. I'm given time out. What am I? Hello, Vanessa. Hello. What can I do in this now moment? I'm gifted this now moment. I'm gifted this time out. So what can I do to set up new structures, new ways of being, doing, making money? What else is possible? And a lot more people are realizing that the structures and things like Zoom and other media can help you. You can still execute your business through that. You can still have board meetings through that. So a lot more things are becoming easier. We in 3D reality, we tend to make it more difficult. Higher dimensional perspective is, how can it be easier? How can we make money easier? How can we live easier? How can we live simpler? And it's usually in the simplicity. We tend to complicate things and says, no, the old structure of 3D was dung, 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 dung. This is all I need. And now the carpet is ripped from underneath that. And now you're floating here in the fluid energies, and it's how else can it be done? How different can it be? And it's to work with that. It's now to start looking at other ways of being, doing, acting, reacting, and making a living. And actually living, not just living to pay bonds, living to pay debt, stressing, barely coping. It's a time to totally review and start looking at the different perspectives. And if you struggle with it, I'm doing a guided meditation now at 12 o'clock on the Life Collective, the group there. Else I do the group chakra balancings on Wednesday mornings at 9 or Wednesday evenings at 7 at a reduced rate. So there's you can have one-on-one session. It doesn't matter. There's so much available to you. What I found is when I asked because I connect with spirit, and then I ask, okay, so how do I shift this? And it's shown to me. How do I shift this? And it's shown to me. How do I shift this? And it's shown to me. How do I get to forgiveness and loving kindness? And it's shown to me. So I had to go through the process myself. So now I can help others. So if you want to start seeing what is this gift for you, let me help you. Or ask, sit in your stillness, and it will come to you. So you will no longer look at things in a linear timeline. You can start focusing on the multiple realities in a single moment. Because there is multiple realities in a single moment. So we have talked about the 3D and the 5D experiences. But in truth, you are currently vibrating in 4D, unlike 3D and 5D, which have very fixed constructs or rules to the game. The fourth dimension is a very malleable one. Because of the construct of the 3D and 5D are so different, you needed an entire dimensional range in which to make the transition from the one to the other. Now, in the light body activations, hello Zanika, nice for you to join. So in the light body activations that I do, I help you shift and totally integrate and assimilate the fifth dimensional frequencies, and then in the second light body activation to the sixth dimensional frequencies. So those who are still in the process of doing that, I can help you with that, where you can better integrate those aspects and better merge with your multidimensional perspectives, selves, so that you can operate in a different way in this world, so that you can see things clearer through your third eye, your master eye, so that you don't look through the blinkers of the limitations of the 3D, but open up so the 4D brings us into our heart, and then we can rise into the higher dimensions. So yeah, let me know if you need me to take you through that transition. You needed a matrix in which you can modify the rules to allow for consciously adjusting to the and implementing these new perspectives. So remember, you are playing in a game of dimensions and reascensions. And this 4D playground was needed for both transitions. Many of you think that you incarnate at the bottom and work your way up to the top. This is not the case. You are source energy. You start at the top, then you fracture and you come down and play in different arenas. Reconnect with source energy, review, and project into another game again. Because this is just the game of life. That's how do you play it? From which dimension are you playing it? From which consciousness level and awareness are you playing it? And it's as if collectively we are reviewing how things have been done, what we got pulled into in playing. And at any stage, you can say, you know what, I would like to play a different game. I would not like to treat another like this. I would not like to cause harm. Yeah, I would not like to be part of this. At any stage, you can say, I'm done, and start something new that is available to everyone. So most of you do not realize that you are residing in the fourth dimension, and that you are still currently applying 3D rules to a 4D matrix. And some of us are in different dimensional frequencies, but it doesn't matter. Whatever brings you down, just to see what is still affecting you or making you drop in vibration, or consciousness or awareness, and that is fear programs. But you can also run the 5D programming. It's available to all of us. At any stage, you can access that. So what we want from you is more of the 5D programming. Many of you are walking between these two worlds. And so many times when I've spoken, especially to Beryl and others, She would also say, and I would also feel it's like got one foot in 3D and one foot in the higher dimensions, and you have to navigate your way because you have to be in sort of both. So yes, and sometimes when I walk on the grass or go for walks or whatever, then it feels like I'm float. I'm floating, or I can see the aliveness of everything. I can see the energy of everything. It feels like I'm in between worlds. Especially nature helps us connect, and we are given the opportunity to go out in the gardens and to connect, be grounded, because we just anchor those frequencies then within the 3D reality, which is beautiful. So no doubt you're getting the theory down, but the practical applications is still far from being there. So right now you are in a process of creating new patterns. We are all in a process of creating new patterns, and it takes 21 days to change a pattern. So those who haven't taken the opportunity in the first 21 days, so we're given the next 21 days a reset. It's like, really, this is a time for you. Focus on you. You can change this. You can come out better after this. The opportunity is there. So it's a very exciting time. I'm excited about the time, and I'm excited about this. So yeah. So right now you're in the process of creating these new patterns, new neural networks, new habits, and releasing the programs that generated the limitations. Ain't that grand? You are creating your new potential. Realize that. Really realize that. You have to remember that you are your higher self. It is not something that you have to become or something that you have to reconnect with. For you to experience the third dimensional range, you as higher self incarnated and projected into form and then overlaid illusions of separations, created an ego or personality. You created filters to color the perceived reality. And yes, it's to let go of those filters. It's interesting. In one of the dreams that I had, Beryl reminded me to go and clear the filters. And I did. Was amazed on how many filters there was, so that I actually saw life through and perceived life through. It makes a lot more sense now. So all the emotions, the feelings, and the thoughts that say that you are separate, that you are not good enough. Oh, there are many. There are so many for so many people, but they're not true, and they become then our lie programs, and they run through our lives, and we have to catch them in their track and say, no, out, you're outdated, no longer needed. I am enough. I am beautiful. I am precious. I am whole. I am complete. I am magnificent. I'm part of the source energy. I am love. I'm all that I've looked for. It's to embody that, to be that. The filters that say that you can't connect, you can connect. Everyone connects. When I take people through the sessions, I connect them to their past unloved ones. I connect them to the guides, to anything. We all have that ability. You can do that. Also, the filters that you are not lovable. Know what that feels like, or that belief system feels like, and then seeing that, and then finally releasing that filter and realize, oh, you are so lovable. You are so loved by everyone, because we are connected, and we are there for one another, and there are heart connections, and we are part of Source, and God loves all of us, and all of us knows all of us. We just play these games, and we come through these filters, and we give one another these lessons, and then there's anger between the ones, or hurt between the ones, and it's all an opportunity to release those emotions. It's 3D. Let it go. It's okay. When you drop it, you drop back into love and acceptance, mostly of yourself. And then there can be acceptance for everyone else, because you are everyone else. You are me. Have an experience of you, how it is to be you. And I am you, having an experience how it is to be me. So we all have these experiences, but we're not married to experiences. We're not. It shouldn't limit us in what we think about ourselves. It should actually liberate and free us, because the opposite is actually true. The opposite of all the filters is true. You just have to see it. When you drop it, you'll see it. It's also so all this are simply an exploration in duality, because we live in a plane of duality. So we get to experience love, then we get to experience hate, and then we fluctuate between the two. But on that continuum of duality, doesn't matter on which part of duality you're operating at, it's still love. It equates to love. So it is to say, okay, I know how love feels on that side, I know how hate feels on that side, but I choose to just integrate all these experiences, this duality that I experience, and I drop back into love. And I will love all the people that came, all the people that came to help you to let go of that. Ja, Jacqueline, ek hoor jy, maar ek doen 'n guided meditation nou. Jy kan dalk injoin by the Love Connection, en dit mag jou dalk help. Ek verstaan. Ek verstaan dit al en al. Okay. But letting go is possible, and sometimes you just need someone to help you through the process. Because we're not necessarily taught how to let go. The 3D construct is you hold grudges and you hold on to this pain, and you hold on, and you're not going to, or let's say you must forgive, but you must not forget, because, and if you don't forget, you hold on. You actually mentally you hold on to the pain, and mentally you keep on recreating it, and you are suffering. So when you let it go, you drop in that, you're the one that benefits. It's all about you, but you are everyone. So when you shift it for you, you shift it for everyone, and then you don't keep on having to go through those experiences. You set yourself free. This is a time of liberation, of true liberation for all humanity. You can set yourself free from all those limitations, and the limitations is mental. The limitations is 3D, and we have each and every one of us. There's enough on this earth plane to help us reach our highest and greatest human potential. There's enough courses, there's enough healers, there's enough light, there's enough love. Everything is there for us, to help us. It's just for us to say, yes, I want that. And I'll realize that I stood in my way. My beliefs limited me. My thoughts limited me. All the baggage that I brought from past lives and all the karma, that is what limited me. I was my limitation, and I now choose to drop that limitation. I am also part of Source. I'm also part of that collective energy. I now choose to tap into that. I choose to tap into the creator abilities and live that. Let the creator energy live through me, through my smile, through my compassion, through my love, through my attention, through my focus, through my whatever you choose, however you choose to apply it. But you have the opportunity now to set yourself free, to liberate you from the 3D construct forever. It's that final step. It's a final countdown. And it's beckoning you. It's time. It's time. There's a new reality available. It's time. It's time. It's now. It's here. Take it. Your soul is gently nudging you. That's why you get to listen to different people and read different books and open up different things. Okay. So if you shift your perception from one of separation and one of connection, it really is quite simple. Throughout the day, you can stop and ask yourself, where am I vibrating mentally, emotionally, and physically? So where are you vibrating at those levels? And then if you see, oh wow, I've got this tightness within my solar plexus, I feel all stressed up, fear, powerless, hopeless, helpless. It's okay, but I am power and I choose to reclaim my personal power. What can I do to shift it? Fill it with light. Hold your hands there. Do whatever it takes to move that, shift that. Don't buy into it. Don't think, oh, I am now like this, and oh, this is a terrible feeling, and then give it energy, and then it's just going to become worse and worse and worse, where you're going to have digestive problems and not being able to stomach the things that's happening. Don't buy into that. Don't buy into that. Don't buy into any of that makes you feel like that. So, okay, so who am I really? I'm my higher self. My soul knows best. My soul is giving me this experience. On a soul level, I choose to transmute, dissolve this now, and then do that. Hold your hands there. Give yourself energy. Say, I claim my personal power. I claim my personal power. I choose to stand in my power. I choose to shine. I choose courage, strength. I know I have that. I call forth the courage and the strength that I am, that I have. I choose the wisdom from within. I know I have that. Reclaim everything that you have. Remember who you are. Really remember who you are and the gifts and abilities that you inherently have. You might have forgotten for a while, but it's time to remember, time to awaken. It's time to step into that. And visualize yourself stepping into that. Visualize yourself doing that. Then as you start to check in on where you are mentally, emotionally, or physically, you can just readjust yourself in whatever it takes. Listen to positive things, listen to anything that will change that mindset. Don't go and feed that mindset, meaning having a fearful mindset and what else can I fear and what else should I fear and what else should I be aware of and be frightened of. Don't feed into that. Okay. So readjust yourself so that you can create new habits, these new thought forms, because most of the lower ones are running at a subconscious level. The idea here is to take all of the frequencies that you are running at the subconscious level and become conscious of them. Bring up all those subconscious thoughts. Let them all purge and come up, because when they do, you know what they are. And when you know what they are, you know what to release. It is a blessing. So when these fears comes up, oh, the fear's got a name. The fear feels this, or get the feeling has a name. It's this. When you know what it is, you can call it bluff. You can go transmute it. You can release it. You can let it go. Realize that the opposite is true. Realize it's duality. So you're just experiencing one point of the duality. The opposite is exactly true. And when you integrate it and come into the center, when you come back to your center, you can actualize it. You can shift it. Okay. So that really is the challenging part for you. but the mechanics of it is quite simple. And that is what spirits always try to tell us. The soul simplifies. The ego, the mind complicates. And that's why I said my last process through what I had to go through in the past few weeks was the acceptance of love. The acceptance that I am love and that I give love and I don't have to stop loving. I don't have to stop loving another because my job is to love, to show compassion, to show kindness, to be there, to be the support. At firstly with myself. So I have. I had to integrate that. I had to feel it for myself and then do it for others. So yeah, it is to work with that. From time to time, I'll check in with you guys on at 11 o'clock because I feel that is good time. And thank you for joining me today, and thank you for spending this time with me. And I wish you the most magical and beautiful day. I'll be posting some guided meditations on my YouTube channels that you can follow or link into if you feel guided to, or else you can come for one-on-one sessions via WhatsApp video chat or Skype or Zoom. Or there's those group sessions that is available on Wednesday mornings, group chakra balancings on Wednesday mornings, 9 o'clock, or Wednesday evenings at 7 o'clock during the lockdown period at a nominal rate of 333 Rand, because it's the Christ consciousness energy and I use that to help you shift. So much love and light from my to yours, and I wish you the most beautiful day. Bye for now. Thank you. Thank you.